made $125.
$90, and yesterday you made $100. Okay.
Bro, if you got a job making $90 and $100 a day, bro, you need to get a better job. It's not enough, to be on your own. Yeah.
So that's $500 a week at best, 5-day week. And you live in New York City or New Jersey?
I actually live with my dad in Long Island. My mom
you
lives
live in New
City.
York, New York City. Long Island is one of the boroughs.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. I lived in Manhattan. You live with your...
yeah, I mean...
He made $500 a week. Can you afford an apartment?
Yo, what's good, Ronin? What's good, Size King, bro? What's up with y'all, man?
Salute.
What's going on? Oh, you okay? I know. Okay, I know who you are. Okay, I know who you are, bro. I know who you are. I was like, who the hell is Style? I know who you are, man. Yeah. What's good with y'all, man? I know y'all. I know y'all.
I just got out. I was working myself.
Yeah. Hey, y'all got kids? I know Ronin got kids. You got kids, Style King, bro?
Nah. That's part of my mission, man.
Okay.
You're getting an echo back from. I'm getting an echo. Wait, I'm getting an echo from somebody. From somebody. Yeah.
Damn,
Let me check my settings. Maybe I need to turn this echo.
Ronin, you sound like Darth Vader, bro.
Yeah, man. I sound box because it wasn't performing right, and I got a Rodecaster Duo coming. It should be delivered today, so I'll be able to have my mic fixed. Yeah, this should have sounded weird. Hearing it play, but I'm hearing it. I'm still hearing it from somebody's. I don't know if you got windows open with your sound on or something.
I don't think I do.
Oh, you guys not hearing it? You guys not hearing it?
I heard like sort of like a static,
Check.
I heard sort of like a static, but
check. Yeah, I get a little feedback. Maybe it's me. I'll bounce out and come back. I'll bounce out and come back in.
All right. So speak right quick, so I kind of make sure your mic good, bro.
Que lo que. Yeah, it's still doing that. Maybe you got to close out. Some of that stuff.
It's good on it's good. I don't hear no echo or anything on my end. I don't know what's going on.
When I heard Ronin on the live feed, it's an echo.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Let me try something right quick. Maybe I might need to turn. All right, I turned the echo cancellation off. Let's see if that worked. All right, we good now?
Check. Mic check.
Testing.
I'm
still hearing I still hear a background check.
Ronin, do you got your echo cancellation on?
I got all of that on.
No, turn one off. You can't if you got both of them running at the same time. Yeah, turn one off.
Echoes. Yeah, I can hear it. So I just took off reduce mic noise. And that's still making playback.
Turn on the echo cancellation and turn the background noise off. Turn that background noise off.
Yeah, I just did that. And I'm still hearing the feedback. From somewhere. What the fuck is going on, man? I've never had this issue before.
Yeah, normally, when you join this panel, it's pretty good. I don't know. Maybe I might need to plug in my other microphone. Maybe that'll.
Do you have your sound coming through your speakers?
Hold on. All right, what about now?
Check, mic check. There it is. It's gone. It's very low. It's very low.
Okay,
now.
yeah.
It's very low. It's very low now.
All right. Okay, we got that out the way. Now I got to turn my my volume up right quick so I can hear you guys a little better.
Check mic. Check mic. Yeah. Oh, it's back. Yeah. Oh, it's back.
Hold up.
I don't know if you have a window open in the background. Well, you have the volume up, and that's where it's coming from. I'm just able to hear it. But it's very low now. Whatever you just did, you turned it down. But I can still hear it.
Yeah, man, hold up. This is so annoying. You know what I'm gonna do instead? I'm gonna just change my whole.
Yeah, you just went mute. Yeah, you muted yourself. Style King, do you have a window open? Why am I still hearing them?
Nah, I don't got nothing. It does sound a lot lower now, though.
Yeah. I just turn. I only have one window open. That's StreamYard.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in. This is a really good subject.
Yeah. Okay, I don't hear anything now.
I can hear you.
Yeah. I don't hear no delay. I don't hear no feedback.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
But he muted, though. He muted himself. But yeah, man, that's an awesome subject, though.
It's one that needs to be had because there's different mindsets, and I think in this day and age, the black community needs to change.
Let him come back. Let him come back though.
Yeah.
But let me say something to you about y'all podcast last night.
Oh shit. Okay.
I said it on the playback this morning. I go to work at like 5 a.m. on the weekend. Man,
what you think about it?
I watched the whole stream, bro. That was a long stream too.
It was. I wasn't even thinking we were going to stay.
Well, y'all was lit on that.
Oh, clever girl. Oh my God, she came on the show, bro.
I was so mad, like damn, I missed it for real. I had to go to sleep.
She came on the show, and then the fact that Maya got on, she actually acted decent was shocking.
Is Maya the one that was masculine before?
Yeah, that was the one that went off on Andrew and Fearless, and also goes on the Zed's podcast and goes the hell off too.
I thought the other girl was a Zed troll for real.
I don't know. She sounded like Zed, didn't she?
Yeah, man. All right, True Prodigy back.
Y'all heard me?
Yeah, we can hear you. No feedback. No feedback. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I had to switch I had to switch to a different mic. Yep. I hate using this mic, but forget it. I just deal with it for right now.
Hey, man.
Matter of fact,
yeah, that mic sounds really good.
I need.
All you need is a mic holder for it.
Now
you haven't hold it.
No, I have a mic holder, but hold up, I need to do something right quick. I need to turn my music down because this mic, I tend to get an echo in the background, so I'm gonna turn my music off before I.
Yeah, y'all all fancy be playing background music and shit and getting the mood going. I don't be doing it.
I know. Yeah. I gotta step up my game, y'all.
That's the only mood I can set right there.
I
gotta upgrade that shit so I don't have to have the commercials shown in the background because they sure enough getting a lot of damn ads over the damn internet.
Yeah, man. Y'all, the audience, please excuse how I look. I just got out of work. You know what I'm saying? I've been at work.
Yeah, why you gotta zoom in on everybody, man? It's Saturday. Who said everybody wash their eyes and shit, man?
I need to jump in the shower right now.
Hey, before we get back to the content, anything y'all want to say?
No, man, it's a Saturday morning. Let's let it rip, man. I mean, it's a good conversation to have. and the mentality of our community specifically, because other mentalities of other communities are different, and that's why I said I wanted to push back a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna forget.
I had a feeling you was gonna say something alluding to, you know, different cultures and things of that nature. I had a feeling you was gonna go there with it. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Get back to it then.
As far as us, yeah, it's different for us, I think, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We done messed up Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, we can't hear him at all.
Hold on, say that again.
We can't hear Kevin Samuels at all.
Oh, you can't hear him? Hold up.
Mm-mm.
I could kind of tell where he was going with it, though. He finna get better at business.
He is. Lazy somebody.
I'm trying to see. Hold up. Oh, okay. I understand why y'all can't see him. Damn, I'm struggle streaming like a mud right now.
Hey, it's all good.
Hey,
it's all good. It happens to the best of us, man.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to get my stuff up. At least you flowing. You got it going.
Exactly. I couldn't get my sound right. Period.
All right, let me know if y'all can hear it now.
When we were young, we didn't understand some of the things Kevin Samuels was talking about because some of us, a lot of us, didn't grow up with fathers. Yeah. This man grew up with a father. So maybe his father had his own personal issues. I don't know. But a lot of the things Kevin Samuels was teaching was a lot of fatherly advice. So anyway, let's go.
No, I did. I graduated.
Okay, you graduated high school. So what have you been doing in the 9 years since you got out of high school?
Well, I went to SUNY Geneseo and SUNY Stony Brook, and at various times I was doing well. At various times I did poorly and I failed out, and then I went kind of like in a rebellious mode, and I traveled down to Florida, and then I came back home after a while of repenting that sort of rebellion, and then since then I've just been trying to build myself back up, and been working really hard and trying to find odd jobs.
Working really hard doing what?
Well, I mean, comparatively, I guess I've been working hard compared to what I was doing.
What you were doing was loser.
Well, I was at the time I wouldn't have defined myself.
Of course, you wouldn't define yourself as a loser, but that's what the world would define you as, a loser. A guy who graduated from high school and dibbled and dabbled in college until he flunked out, and then went on a monk mission from here to Florida, hitchhiking there. That's what the world will call you, a loser.
Damn.
25 years old, living at home, you're a loser.
Dang.
That's what the world says. That's what the world says, bro. And you're asking me, how do I get there? Well, the first thing you should do is leave out of your father's house. You have no real pressure on yourself.
Yo, this is gonna get crazy. I want y'all to keep watching this, bro.
Your father's allowing you to be a loser. That's why you can spend time.
Sure.
Yeah, he is. That's why you can spend time on his internet, on his Wi-Fi, listening to all these programs that you have no direct need for. You need a direct skill that can help you make more than $100 a damn day. That's what you need. You need a skill. What are you qualified to do?
I mean, I have now gotten 4. I know you were saying my gardening business, but I have 4 clients, and I think I'm going to have a lot more clients in the future. And I think I'll have the work to make some.
So gardening during COVID. Okay, where did you go to learn to be a gardener?
Well, when I was I left that part out, but at one point before I went to Florida, I was living in Trinidad, and I got a permaculture design certificate, and that's kind of like similar, but really it's just
okay. And let's be honest, dude. There's not a lot of gardening work in New York City, in Long Island, or other. You aren't making any money. And the only reason you can delude yourself like this is because you live with your daddy.
Okay, but how can I find a place to live, if I'm not making money?
Well, if you know what the real answer is, I should be talking to your father. I should be talking to your father and telling him, put your grown ass out. Because here's how you do it. Necessity breeds invention. How many hours did you work today?
I started at, well, I guess it doesn't sound so good. Well, I started at...
I noticed this dude don't like to give direct answers, bro. He could have just said 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, whatever. This man.
At 12, and I finished at 7. But normally I start earlier. I just didn't have any work.
Okay, so you started at 12 and finished at 7. So you didn't even put in a full 8-hour day with your broke ass. And you should be putting in 16.
Yeah, I've never put in.
So how many different? So when are you going to start listening to the fact that, number one, you're lazy, unskilled, unmotivated?
Oh, I mean, I guess.
Well, you guess that's. Is that accurate or inaccurate? You put in a 7-hour day. Do you make enough money to only work 7 hours?
I mean,
that's a yes or no question, sir.
I told you he don't like to give direct answers.
Why did you stop working at 7 hours?
It's manual, like gardening labor. I don't
give a shit. Go get another job like the rest of us. I've had 3 or 4 jobs at one time. See, every time I ask you, there's always a woe is me excuse. It's because your father is paying the freight on your ass, because you don't have to pay the rent, lights, phone, or groceries or anything. He's letting you stay here because he fears that if he lets you go out, his son is going to die because you're not fit to make it in this world right now. That's sad.
That is sad.
And that's on you. I'm not going to give you any excuses.
That's sad because usually fathers are.
What you were saying, bro?
That wasn't me. That was the guy on the
reaction.
Oh, okay. That was dude on the screen.
Yeah, on the reaction. I know he sounds like me, but that wasn't me.
Oh, it's the mothers who allow this, usually. But man,
there's nothing wrong with you. You graduated from high school. You got everything that everybody else has except for fucking backbone and some ambition. I went through a rebellious phase. You know what you should have got as a rebellious phase? A fucking door locked in your face. Your rebellious ass should have either went to the military or be in the park somewhere. But there's no way you should be back in your father's house rebelling.
Well, I wouldn't have been let back in if I was still rebelling. But I mean, okay, I want to take as much responsibility as I can. That's what I've been doing.
Then do it. Stop working 7 hours a day. Get off of YouTube. Stop watching BitChute. Stop doing all this. Go get 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs, whatever you need to do. Move the fuck out. Live in a car. Live in a U-Haul somewhere. Go get roommates. Grow the fuck up, man. Move to a different state. Stop giving yourself so many excuses.
I would advise him to move to a different state. That's what I did, and I was able to be somewhat prosperous doing that. So yeah.
Exactly.
How about this? You ready for this? This is what I really think you need. You want the solution to your life? I'll give it to you in 1 sentence. You ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Join the army.
I tried. I can't.
Why?
Oh, hell.
There he goes.
What?
rebellious phase. No,
I don't.
I have HIV, so I can't.
I told you.
He said what?
He had HIV. He got that HIV.
What kind of rebellion he was doing?
I don't know. He got that HIV though. That's all I heard. You feel me? I don't know what the hell he had going on.
But he was rebelling on the wrong side of town. Well,
yeah, he sure was.
Yeah, that's a wild
terrible
statement.
But you threw us a curveball with that one. I ain't never
told you.
Now the real work begins, because now you got to work around having to deal with that too.
No wonder he
in general society. Yo,
I wouldn't even have him living with me if he had that. If I was like, man, look, bro, like I support you, but you can't stay with me with that HIV. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
See that? Wait, so that goes to show you how good black fathers are. Again, we have all these examples of.
Is he black? Fathers. I don't even know if he's black, bro.
Yeah, he's black.
He got to be black to even be on this show like that.
Yeah, this is wild, man. But
damn, that's sad, bro.
Well, sorry to hear that, man.
You can still walk.
You got that on you.
Yeah. There's not much you can say to that.
I know I need discipline, and I can't count on my dad.
If you know it, but before you need discipline, you need income. Why are you not working 12, 16-hour days?
Oh, shit.
I guess I'm just, I don't want to say I'm lazy, because that doesn't feel right.
That's what it is, bro. You don't want to say it.
Absolutely are.
You called into my show on a completely different topic. So you see, your father should be doing this to you, but he fears for you. I don't. I fear for you if you don't do this. I fear for you if your father dies because you can't afford to take.
Give me 1 second, right quick. All right.
Care of yourself, and they will let you be homeless with HIV. You can be out there with the rest of them.
Damn,
you're wasting time.
Get it together, brother.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting a car on Monday. Not to say I don't know if I'm just gonna go live in a car, but I'm getting a car.
You don't need a car, bro. Just save your money, bro.
How's that gonna help?
Because
who's getting you a car?
One of my gardening clients who I worked with 2 days ago, the son, I'm getting like 2 referrals every month.
Who is getting you a car?
One of my gardening clients' brother is giving me, I'm actually paying for a car by working, and he's going to give it to me, and I'm going to work over the next few months. It's only,
all right. So can you afford the insurance, gas, and the maintenance on this car?
I plan to. No. I'm telling you. I bought
all right, dude. All right. Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing.
And I'm going to sell it.
Listen. No.
Did he just say he gonna sell it? I don't remember hearing that.
Yeah, he said
this dude, bro. Like, I don't know what to say. Maybe y'all could elaborate on that, bro. I ain't got no words for that. This dude gonna get a car and sell it, bro. I wouldn't, bro. If you're gonna get a car, if you ain't making no money, bro, and you buying a car and it's expensive, bro, that's a bad move, bro. I don't. Whatever.
He sound lost. Very lost.
Mass transit is your friend. You're irresponsible and lazy.
Like, his dad getting like a check from him or something. Like, I don't.
Is he on the spectrum? Is the question.
Well, I don't want to necessarily say that. I just this like he got the HIV situation. Maybe his dad getting money from that, because I don't know, man.
Or he is. At that point, sometimes the state will take pity on you.
Mm-hmm. Like, maybe his dad's benefiting from that some way, shape, or form. So I don't know.
Easy.
It's a twisted situation, though.
I'm gonna ask you is somebody has to do something for you. Somebody has to give you a car. You're you're closer to 30 than you are to 20.
Still living at home.
Knock it off. I don't care. Here's what you do. You get up tomorrow morning and you put in applications at every fast food place in your neighborhood that you can walk.
Not fast food, bro. You don't want to do the fast food route.
I disagree. You can do we even need to do something?
Well, I'm saying I've never worked fast food, but I'll say this. I think he just gonna eat up. He gonna get fired for eating food in the bathroom. He gonna get caught in the bathroom eating a cat, eating a drumstick, you know, a thigh, you know.
Damn.
Not off the clock, but on the clock. And his supervisor gonna come in, catch him eating a chicken. He gonna try to flush it down the toilet as if he had like an 8-ball of cocaine or some shit. And yeah, he gonna lose his job. Just like, you know what? I'm trying to be funny or whatever, but I think he need to at least go to school and like get some type of like trade or whatever. Like, and even if he don't, you know, utilize the trade, at least he got something under his skill set that he could use if he ever get in a desperate situation. But it's honestly, it just seemed like he ain't really got anything, you know. Like normally, once you hit a certain age, you have something, you know, that you've like some type of skill set that you can utilize to earn you a decent amount of money, you know, or maybe you got some type of job that allows you to make a decent amount of money, or I don't know, whatever the case may be. But if you 30 and you ain't got nothing to show for it, bro, then that's where it's just ain't really a lot of pity. You feel me?
Facts.
Yeah. It's wild. You got the HIV, fine. You know, life is gonna be a little harder. You feel me? Maybe your dad will take sympathy for you, but you know, most people don't really give a fuck. Most people will be like, you just was sexually irresponsible or whatever. I don't know.
Walk to a ride or bus to. You go to every place that's hiring and you put in an application. Stock boy, groceries, every place you see a legal.
Yeah, Style, you was right on that. That nigga definitely need to do something in this situation. So yeah,
anything.
You have your ass there too. You apply it everywhere because you have citizenship. And then after you apply at every one of the businesses in your 5-mile, 10-mile radius, you take your ass down to the day labor center and you stand out there with the rest of the illegal immigrants and you work for day labor or go to a Home Depot. You got too much pride to be this damn broke. You do whatever you have to do. That's what men do. Instead of somebody always having to do something for you.
And to the young ladies in the hood, I don't want to say the hood, but when you see a man working hard, it doesn't matter where he is working at. He is
working.
Yep.
That means he has the ability to move up from that level. It doesn't matter if a young man is working, because that's one of the reasons why young men, their pride got in the way is because women would look down on men who had those jobs. Basic, like fast food jobs and stuff like that. Because I knew many brothers who stopped good jobs and went to the streets just for status. Don't be fooled, man. It's okay to be a bus driver.
You want it to be easy. You want it to happen on your way. Well, how am I supposed to get there? Ain't my job to figure out your life. All I know is this: you don't make enough money to be working 7 hours a day. That's your fucking problem.
Not in New York, bro.
And calling me up asking me about what some motherfucker on bitch you said about interracial dating and what I think is one of the craziest fucking things I can think of for somebody in your position. You're deluded. There's nothing to do with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Has your father ever told you this?
Told me what?
Did you need to get your shit together?
Have it together enough to tell me that.
Damn.
He said what? He ain't done. He said his father hasn't said anything about that.
He said his father don't even got it together. So how can he tell him to get it together? His father ain't in.
He's staying in his father's house unless his father is living off of his mother.
Yeah, I don't. This is a weird family dynamic. I don't know what they got going on.
Oh my God, it is. Yes.
Yeah.
At all. So he doesn't have the awareness.
Okay.
His father living off the government. Like, what's going on? Like,
the place you live in. Who pays for it?
my mom. My dad probably is about to lose this place if it was up to him. I'm just saying, it's true.
You live with your father?
Yeah, I live in my family house where I grew up.
Man,
and my mom
where's
lives
the lady
alone.
from last night that was talking that shit?
For her bailing him out, there's property taxes and mortgages that were laid on that would probably it would have been game over.
Are your mother and father married?
Yeah, they're married, but they're not really together.
Well, I didn't ask if they were together. What was the question?
Yes, they're married.
So what's hers is his.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the nerve of you to say he doesn't have his shit together. He has a wife. You don't. He has a wife that he picked well enough to allow his son, who's a deadbeat, to stay with him. And you're judging him.
I'm just telling you what she tells me.
Listen, I don't give a fuck what she says to him. I'm telling you what I'm telling you. You judged your father. He doesn't have his shit together. That's not the real point. You don't have your shit together. See, I ask questions because I read people for a living. And for you to come out of your mouth saying something about your father.
Yeah, your father don't live with you.
Way out of part. You don't have any room to be judging anybody, dude. Zero. Your number, that's why I said at the beginning, you need to get off the internet, stop worrying about all this other stuff, and get your shit together. But you actually said, my dad doesn't have this stuff together, so he can't tell me anything. Really?
You asked me how, I didn't have the backbone.
If he told you need to get your shit together, that's what I asked you. That's what I asked you.
And I was okay, well, to what
I'll tell you what I tell you. Don't talk over me, dude. You too broke to afford to pay a session, so when you don't talk over me, I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to. You do this shit with your dad, not me.
That's funny.
Oh my God.
I don't give a fuck what your father's situation is, your mother's situation. I don't care what your situation is. You're still responsible for yourself. All you got is a bunch of goddamn excuses. But you're going to stop calling my show with this bullshit, I tell you that. I've told you what you need to do.
Okay.
Because if your father were to pass, if your mother were to pass, could you pay the rent on the place you live right now?
If they had life insurance.
That's all you need to be worried about. That's the only fucking thing that needs to be on your mind. Not how fucked up your HIV status is, not all the mistakes you made, not what your daddy did, not what your mama did. The fact that you can't even pay for the roof over your goddamn head. If one of these two people who were in the coronavirus situation in New York where everybody else died. It's the only thing that needs to be coming out your mouth. That needs to be your only North Star. You as a grown damn 27-year-old man can't even pay for a roof over your head. And you got the nerve to be calling into YouTube shows? Listening to BitChute videos?
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
What you going to say to that? Other than, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. I guess there's a reason I'm calling you. I respect what you're saying, and I know that
how you show you respect it? Go do what I said. Put in applications around you. Get your pride to the side and stop being so goddamn proud. Go get a job. Go get as many jobs as you can get. Because you have no skills. Because you're gonna tell me you got a skill to do some yard work down in Jamaica somewhere. I told you when you called into the show, you need some sort of certification because you're an unskilled labor, dude. You're unskilled labor. People swim the Rio Grande to do and come do the same job. You're a fruit picker. You have no skills. None. Zero. And you're wasting time. You're almost 30 years old with HIV. No skills.
HIV.
Who in the fuck is supposed to take care of an unskilled laborer in your situation?
No, I want to take care of myself.
How? You have skills to make minimum wage. You can lie to yourself, but you make $90 a day, $100. That's minimum. That's really minimum wage in your area.
There was a guy who
dude. There's no talking. All right. You still want to talk?
I was just talking.
Yeah, get a bitch somewhere. Nope. We've allowed young guys.
This is where he break it down, where he just started giving great advice for young men.
Guys like this to be too lazy for too long, and sometimes life's got to teach you. He lives in Long Island, and all it is excuses. You're broke.
That's a joke.
See, when we were younger, we didn't have the internet and all these distractions. We had to get out. There was no come to the house.
Nope. Bars.
Yeah, some people need to go. Yeah, and I understand. And before people may think that's a little harsh, I've counseled. I was alcohol and drug.
Yeah, we in a generation where it pays for you not to focus on the thing that's not important. Everybody in my generation and the generation under me, we all focus on shit that don't matter. You feel me? And a lot of the time it pays, man. A lot of these dudes be Twitch streaming and stuff like that, and they get paid for it. In the long run, that don't really matter, bro. Like in the long scheme of things, man. Like your legacy and stuff like that. That's what actually matters, bro. You building a future for yourself, that matters, man. Like I don't know.
No, you're absolutely right.
I don't want to put down the new generation too bad.
Far worse. He's in denial. He has to hit his rock bottom. He's looking for answers. But the answer is in order to get better, you must admit you are powerless over alcohol or drugs. You got to admit. Then you got to do the steps.
Yes, you do.
At what age do you finally get it? Still working on it. You keep on getting it. Yeah, I've had 100 jobs. Yeah, that's right, dude. Ashley says I had 100 jobs. See, yeah, because men, where I come from, we work. We work.
Me too.
A man is what you do.
Yeah.
That's why. And all those 100 jobs means I can turn on the YouTube at any moment and be talking and be consistent. I'm never satisfied with just doing this. Because a man is supposed to get out there and make shit happen. Even if he has nothing, he's supposed to make something.
Get after it.
Mm-hmm. Powerless over your addiction. I don't begrudge anybody who anyway. Let me round this back to the broadcast. Taboo topics. All our taboo topics, all our taboo issues, where we tend to stand in our own way.
Yes, we do.
And somebody asked, when did you get your stuff together? When I finally...
That was definitely me. Like back, when I was staying with my mom, jacking off and playing video games, bro. Like I was doing the things that, most dudes do now, that ain't really got no life. And honestly, man, I just said, I'm tired of living like this. You know what I mean? I ain't getting no play from no hoes. I ain't really making no money. You feel me? I constantly getting cursed out by my mama, her telling me I ain't shit. Like, I just got tired, bro. I like, you know what? I don't give a fuck if I move out and I become homeless again. At least I ain't got to deal with, at least I ain't trapped in my situation I was just in, like that's just how bad it was. And at one point I was finding excuses, to
not
perpetuate me being in that cycle. You feel me? And I just said, you know what? Like enough is enough, man. So, and I got a few dudes, that be talking to me and be trying to get advice from me on Instagram. I'm like, bro, you need to get advice from your father or somebody that's old enough to be your dad, bro. I don't want to tell you nothing that's going to alter your future. I want you to get advice from somebody that can actually tell you and give you practical steps on how to move forward, bro. So I don't think I would tell you is what the average guy would tell you, bro. You need to, go out there and work, save your money and get your own place. But, a guy like Styles King or a guy like Ronin, right? Like y'all can give them more you can get them way better advice to me is all I'm saying. So yeah, man.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean,
stop my own.
Say it again.
This kid, man, he's not being guided properly by his father, and the fact that he has a man in the house and he's so misled right now means his father didn't have the proper upbringing as well. So it's perpetuating what they call a family curse. You know what I'm saying? You got to break your family curses throughout your life. There's things that you grew up and said, I'll never let that motherfucking happen to me. You know, like I didn't have my father around. I swore up and down I would not be present for my kids. You break those family curses. You improve. You are supposed to, as a man, want to improve your life from the prior life. Matter of fact, as a parent, I want my kids to do better than me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I set them up so they can be better than me. So I know my legacy carries on and they grow past even my abilities. You get what I'm saying? So I'm always pushing them to do that. That's the goal. Now you got a parent to sit in the house and not driving him. You know, I have to question the parents' drive and ambition when it comes to that for their own children. You know, you're setting them up for failure. So what are you really working for if you're not working to better the betterment of your legacy to carry on your family name? You know, and what I was going to push back on earlier was, you know, there are families that allow their kids to stay in the house, but those kids are grown up and the families usually have a business. Everybody works within the business. They stay in the house and then they leave once they get married and the house is already paid for wherever they move to once they're married. You get what I'm saying? But they all work together in order to grow the assets and the resources of the overall family. So in that light, then yes, it's a benefit for them to stay in the house. But if they're not doing anything, they're being lazy. I mean, dude, I was cutting grass at 12. All my mom had to do was say, listen, she said, all she had to do was tell me one thing. If you don't want me to cut your hair anymore, go get a fucking job. Cut grass, rake leaves, shovel snow. I had 3 blocks. Nobody stepped on my block. You know, my 3 blocks of cutting grass and everything else. Did nobody? Nah. They already said, no, I already have a young man that does that. So I had guaranteed, all I had to do was go out and just want to do it. You know, and I cut grass every other week. I was cutting grass from one house to another, get my money. You know, when it was fall, raking my leaves, cut the grass one more time before winter. Winter came around, I'm shoveling snow. I had a job up until I was 16. When I was legal to work in Kansas, Pizza Hut. And still was cutting grass and raking leaves and shoveling snow. Now I have 2 income streams.
Ronin, let me ask you a question right quick. When you was out raking leaves and stuff like that, did you leave out the house, go to people's house, knock on their door, and tell them what you was willing to do for them?
Absolutely. Plus they already saw. Listen. Plus they already saw the work that I was doing for their neighbors. So when they saw their neighbor's lawn, then it's all of a sudden like, who's cutting your grass? Oh, this young man comes around, cuts grass. I can let him know that you're wanting them to cut grass. I was getting referrals. I was knocking on doors. They see me walking up the street with a lawnmower and their grass look bad. Bruh, I'm knocking on the door. Hey, I'm just walking up the street. I got a couple clients down the street. You want me to cut your grass? This is how much I charge. This is as a kid.
Yep. I was doing that too. That's why.
All because I didn't want my hair cut by my mother. The old school bowl cut. Motherfucker, you got to have some motivation in your life. You get what I'm saying? I didn't want that bowl cut like she was cutting my hair. She was dogging my shit out.
She didn't give a fuck. She was like, I'm going to just do whatever I can.
Does your mom really care? Really? I mean, if she's so busy, she's a nurse too. So she worked at night, man. She didn't have a lot of time to do shit. She worked. We were latchkey kids back in the day. Our parents weren't around like that. We raised ourselves.
Let me throw a comment in there. I'm like probably in between both of y'all age, so I'm about to turn 41. And I think this is a good topic for me because my mom passed when I was 10 years old, so I kind of got a little bit of both worlds. So I was with my dad solely after 10 years old, but before that, since my dad was in the military, he spent a lot of time at work. You know what I'm saying? Get up, go to PT, come back home late at night, So I never really saw him that much until my mom passed. And then, well, we all lived together though. So when she passed, it was just me and him, because my brother had to join the army. He did the thing that I was talking about. He kicked my brother into the army because he was, doing the gang stuff and all the crazy stuff in the street. So my dad made him go into the military. But with me, it was a little different, I think. You know what I mean? So I kind of can identify with what the guy's saying, except for the HIV thing. He threw me off with that.
Hell no.
Yeah, that HIV, man. I can't. No, man.
But okay, so
that's kind of wild.
I do still want to comment on the working part, because I had that experience, because I went to the streets myself and I was hustling, and like I told Ronin on another stream, I was digging ditches for myself, making it hard for myself in my 20s. But when I actually, I ended up getting a couple strikes on me and everything. I never went to prison though. You know what I mean? Just a couple of jail time, county jail a little bit. So, but that being said, it was hard for me to find jobs when I got out. Then it was around the time when Bush was in office, right before Obama. It wasn't no jobs in Atlanta, nowhere. We was in a recession. There was no gas at the gas stations. So you either was hustling, the girls stripping, you know what I'm saying? It was tough for real. So when I finally got a job, it was at a fast food type of place. It wasn't Burger King or McDonald's, but it was that. And the one thing my dad told me though, if I want to get out that hole, I got to work my butt off, like Kevin Samuel saying. And I found a job, and they didn't want me to be a manager. It's a racist organization. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, it took me like 3-4 years just to become, it took me like 2 years to become assistant manager. But then from assistant manager to GM, that was another 3 years at a restaurant, bro. But I had to stick to it. If my car broke down, I had to rent a car or find a ride or whatever it takes. And I was working 65 hours a week as an assistant manager.
Now, do you hear your story? Not one excuse. If something happened, you found a fucking solution. You got it done.
Yeah,
this kid, every excuse in the world. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And then, okay, so fast forward to me opening my own restaurants as a GM for companies, right? When I would go to the bank, taking deposits and all kind of stuff. And I would hear ladies talking about, well, it's hard. You can't work for this amount of money and all that. And talking to me about how I pay my employees. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, like, lady, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just scared to put in work these days, man. That's what I'm saying. Like just now, bro, Ronin, I was just telling you, I'm working 7 days a week just now.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to. You know what I'm saying? Like right now I'm just working on the weekends, but I was working 7 days a week because that's all it is. That's the game, man. You got to be able to do that 70 hours a week, 60 hours a week. Sometimes you got to do it, bro, just to get ahead. If you don't have that skilled labor where somebody's paying you $65 an hour, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got that, then you got to make it happen for yourself, regardless.
Right. Through consistency, you build a strong work ethic, man. And work ethic is something that every man should have. That's one thing I admire about my dad, that man had a very, very good work ethic. You know what I mean? He would be, if he had to do a job at 3 a.m, he would get out the bed. And sometimes, a lot of the time, he used to use us for extra help or whatever. But a lot of time he just used to leave out the house, and do his job, be out for like 3 hours, come home, get like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and he's right back out there getting it. You know what I mean? Because he working for a realtor, and he was doing his own thing on the side. So yeah, that's one thing I respect about my dad. And seeing him have that work ethic, it sort of sparked something inside me. That's why I like you said, Ronin, with the going out and cutting grass, I did that too. I did that for like 3 to 4 months. I was like 15 doing that. And when I did it, I used to have to physically go out, knock on different people's doors, you know what I mean, in order to make that happen. Because at the time, I just wanted to know what I didn't really have a lot going on when I was like 15 and 16. And I didn't really have no source of income because I wasn't really working with my dad at the time. So I needed money to do the things that I wanted to do and do the things that I felt I needed to do. So that was one outlet that I took, in order to make that happen. But as I got older, things got easier because, technology and things like that. So I felt like I didn't really need to work or whatever because, like I said, my dad was making a decent amount of money and he was taking care of us, you know. So, yeah, man. And things really didn't go downhill for me until my dad forced us. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say go downhill, but my eyes wasn't opened
the
up
pressure
into how
wasn't
the real
applied
world.
to your life. The
Exactly.
pressure wasn't applied to your life until your dad put that pressure
Forced
on
us. You. Exactly. So, and even when he did that, he got me and my brother our first apartment, but he did it in his name, right? You feel me? So the burden wasn't really on us; it was on him. But then that didn't work out. Then I got an apartment in my own name, but since I was being used to being comfortable being in my own way, you know what I mean? I ended up losing that apartment, and I got.
I'm gonna say a word. I'm gonna say it out loud.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Coddled.
There you go.
You were being coddled.
Yep. I would say for a good 3.5 years, I was being coddled. I'll say a good 3.5 years. That's why it took me a long time to get out of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said earlier, like a lot of people, like they get on the internet and they hear a lot of things that sound good and stuff, but you ain't like you're comfortable being in your situation, right? And the only way you would change your situation is if things happen that forces you to make things happen. You feel me? Like getting out of your comfortability. So, and that's what happened with me. So, I mean, a lot of guys aren't like him. I think the guy that Kevin Samuels was talking to, hopefully he's on his way or he made some things happen for him. But I mean, I hate it took him for him to be almost 30 for him to actually, you know what I mean, get the help and mentorship he needed. But, you know, every man has their own journey and, you know, and has their own level of potential or whatever. But yeah, that's real. I wanted to say.
It's something important that I like to say about those jobs too, those labor jobs, man. So like, it's something that my brother and my dad both preach a lot to me when I was younger. Like, just showing me, like, it's not about what you make. It's about what you spend and how you spend your money.
Exactly.
So that's really how I did it. Like I said, working at restaurants for over a decade. But I got friends that made a lot more money than I did an hour. But I ended up doing a lot better than them because I protected my money. Because I knew that I didn't make a lot of money. So when all the rest of the people at my job was going out drinking every night and doing all kind of stuff, going to the bar, having a good time, like, I just would save my money and come back to work. If I'm working 6, and then if you, just like Kevin Samuels said, if you working 60 to 60, 70 hours a week, you ain't got time to be going to the bar every night. You ain't got time to be sitting on YouTube all day. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you get home, take your shower, and roll up in that goddamn bed so quick, just because you know you got to get up and get it the next day.
You tired. You too tired to be playing around.
That's a fact. Like I was working and I was in school for heating and air, and it was the most exhausting thing. And I was young. I was like 19, 20, experiencing that, and it was so exhausting, bro. Y'all, man, well, I'm pretty sure y'all
True. Highlight Uncle Gun's last statement.
All right, give me a second.
Shout out to Uncle Guns.
Passport Blueprint. Let me bring up Passport Blueprint right quick. You said Uncle Guns?
His last statement, yeah. Go ahead and post that up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
I was brought up and I was raised by my mom, but she always kicked me in the ass to be better. And that's the problem. You don't have parents kicking these kids in the ass to be better because they want to be their best friend. That's the problem. All right.
That's definitely one of them. Yes.
Yeah. You have to look at what's going on around you and try to be better than your situation. And that's going to require you to go and do things exceeding beyond what other people are doing. Like, for example, you got people want to get liberal arts degrees, and they go to these expensive colleges to get them to make $40,000 a year. That doesn't make sense. Why don't you go and get a job in something like in tech where it's paying 6 figures so that way you can live a comfortable life and start a legacy. Now, with this young man, he was just rebellious. What he got was the end result of being rebellious. As they say, karma come out and reach out and get you. Well, that was his karma.
Yep.
So that's his sad, unfortunate situation. But it doesn't seem like he wants to rebound from that. He just want to.
Sounds very unmotivated. Like
exactly.
He has all the time in the world, and we all know we don't.
Why I'm going to go for the lazy job like gardening when I can go out there and try to elevate myself higher?
Like I said, that's child's play. I was doing that at 12. This fool was talking about he 30, messing around as a gardener.
Man, yeah, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, because everybody seeks the easy way to get money and stuff instead of the hard way. Hard way gets you more money.
Yeah. It don't matter if you're a gardener, though. You got to put in the hours. He said 7 hours.
7 hours.
7 hours. That
ain't enough. Yeah, that ain't enough. But let me read what Uncle Gun said. He said, I've coached males to become men for 20 plus years. In that time, I've known and compared notes with countless other coaches. 100% of our clients consist of males who were raised by the weak and unorganized.
That's important. That's important.
Unless you have your own self-drive, your parents ain't pushing you, your parents ain't motivating you, you don't have your own drive, your own motivation, your own ambitions, your own goals in life, you're going to be in that house just like that young man is, just like a lot of incels are, just like a lot of black pillars are. They sitting in their house and they have no drive to do anything besides complain and wait for the fucking sky to fall.
Exactly.
Most young men don't have no drive. They need a push. You know, they need somebody to put the belt to their butt, man. That's what it boils down to.
Ambition. He said like that, ambition.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and
that's the thing. It's just we don't have that type of leadership anymore because everybody wants to be coddled. You know, reality sets in when mom and pop's no longer around, and you got this.
When that umbrella is gone, you don't have that safety net.
And then
you're falling. Who's going to catch you?
I got another point to make. So, like, even with the ambition thing being said, like, I was just talking to a lady that I used to be signed to her production company like 10 years ago. So she was telling me like, oh, I've been working at a bank 25 years and I've been helping this person, helping that person, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like, yeah, I understand that. But you got to understand that nothing is 100% guaranteed in this life, man. So you cannot depend on no 401k. You can't depend on the SSI benefits. You can't depend on nothing, man. Because anything can happen in this world. And you should know that as a working individual. You working 25 years somewhere, you need to know that. So me working in restaurants, I knew I didn't have a retirement plan. So I knew I needed to do something. So I was working with this Caucasian guy, and he made a mention to me back when the stock market thing, when everybody was doing the GameStop stuff.
Yeah.
And he was mentioning to me that he made money off of GameStop. So I said, how? You know what I'm saying? And he's not even like, I don't even talk about him, but I don't think he really likes black folks like that. But he still gave me the knowledge in the game on how to invest, where I couldn't get that from my family. And I took heed to it. I downloaded the app, asked them all the questions I could ask. I'll come back the next day, ask some more questions, and I started investing. And that was in 2020, 21 or something like that. And now it's paying out.
There's nothing like good mentorship, bro. And you can get it from anywhere if you just
He was younger than me. He like 10 years, he like 10 years younger than me. So that's what I'm saying. Like you can get information from anywhere, but it's your ambition. And now I know him still, and he said that he sold all his stocks out, but I'm still reaping the benefit of the stocks I bought back then and buying more stuff. You know what I'm saying? It helped me be in the position I'm in now. And he don't understand how I'm doing what I'm doing, but half of it is because of the game he told me.
Yeah, even with me, man, I'm learning AI software and learning how to put in prompts because it's all very specific to prompting, you know, and building a a personality. You actually have to build a personality before you give the prompt. So if you don't give yourself a persona and you give a command to the computer's just going to take a bland prompt and make it. But if you give it a background on who you are and why you're asking for it, it gives you even a better result. So you have to build a persona into the AI before you actually ask the AI to do something for you.
I'm learning from you on that. We were just talking about that the other night. So yeah. That's what I mean. You got to
but that's everybody wanting to seek knowledge and wanting to keep on growing and not being complacent. That's a word. Complacency.
That's a big word everywhere. It's not just in our community. I think it's a lot of people that suffer from that.
Complacency and procrastination. Those are two bad words right there.
That's a thing
that can kill your whole life as a man.
In this world.
That's kryptonite for a man.
Yep, the world is constantly changing. So if you don't change and evolve with the world, it's gonna fall off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Ronin and Style Kings, you don't have kids. Passport Blueprint, do you have kids, bro?
I'm backstage.
Yeah, we all are. Style Kings is highlighted.
Hold on. I got you. Hold on.
Gracias.
My bad on that. It's something I want to ask y'all. Style Kings, you got kids, bro?
No, man.
Not Style Kings, but
I've been lucky. I'm dodging bullets over here.
Yeah, man.
Don't put them on me.
Passport, you got kids, bro? No, so you got no kid. All right, Ronin. So let me ask you this question, right? Since you're the only one on here with
some
kids.
holy water on your
bro.
Ass. What's up,
Ronin? If that guy was coming to you for advice, right? The HIV dude that was talking to Kevin Samuels, what advice would you give him? Or better yet, if your child was in that type of situation.
Hold on one second. I think I just heard a knock on the door. Hold on one second.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, that was bad. Right, that was you was going down the road. You was going down the road with that one.
All right, so I'm asking y'all too. So, what advice would have gave that young dude that was talking to Kevin Samuels that had the HIV? I know Kevin Samuels dropped jewels, but what advice would have gave him?
I would have told him he needs to get involved in some type of a program where he can get himself a skill and start working.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much the same what Kevin has said. I mean, because basically he's sitting over here. I wouldn't really call him a loser for being in his dad's house because, sometimes there are situations where financially you have to make a sound financial move. It's either be with your parents or you end up homeless, so it is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, it seems like he's not doing what needs to be done. He's taking low-level type of easy peasy jobs to make money. He should be out there focusing on, hey, I want to go back to school. I want to get a certification. I want to get into something so I can make some real money so I can go back on my own. There's times I fell back and I ended up back at my mom's place. I'm not at my mom's place right now. I'm on my own. But, a lot of these kids just don't get it. It's like, why are you sitting here wasting your time on this? That ain't going to happen when you should be out there focused, trying to get money to survive. Sometimes you're going to have to take jobs you don't like, but you need it to survive.
That's a fact.
Yep. That's just reality. Until you can find something better or something you can get into that it's great, you can, jump into that and make money. Other than that, suffer like everybody else, suffer in silence.
Yeah, that was pretty much the case with me for a while, especially when I first moved with my mom, right, about 5-6 years ago, I actually had a really decent, I was in a great position, right, because I was working at this apartment complex, making a decent amount of money doing a trade I went to school for, but things, didn't really work out for me, because of my mistakes and what I made. So I had to, I was living with my sister, and when I made that mistake, I had to move back in with my mom, and then I just said, forget it, I don't care about nothing, and having that mindset, I guess it would be more like a nihilistic mindset. I was going further and further down that rabbit hole, but I just got to a point where I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. And I see a lot of guys that I know they're sort of in that same situation where they're coming up with excuses to, you know, to justify why they're in the position that they're in. But there is no reason for you to be like that, bro. Like, if you a dude and you addicted to video games, the first thing I would tell you to do, you need to pawn it or sell it or get some money back from it and invest that money into something that could make you more money or whatever, you know. Or that's what I did, because I was addicted. I just said, you know what, I'm a pawn it. I'm gonna get rid of this addiction one way or another, and from there, I'm gonna get a second job. You know, I'm gonna just grind it out, save a decent amount of money until I'm able to save enough money to move out my mom's house, or save enough money to get a cash car, or whatever, and do what I need to do, and go from there. So, yeah, man. Like, honestly, I think it's guys a little younger than me, maybe dudes like 27 and younger, that's really suffering from this. You know, because like it's technology that's making everything so easy. You know, like it's like I think I've already said this, but in a lot of cases, we don't need to even leave the house. You know, back, you know, I don't. You guys look like you're in like 40 plus, but back when you guys was in high school level, you guys didn't really. You guys had to go out in order to make things happen, even at a real young age. Now, what's that? Okay,
it's on now.
Caster.
I done got it.
You
it's
need
on now. I ain't gonna have no more mic problems.
That.
No more. Okay. No more mic problems.
You need to
I'm about to say you dropping some beats. You about to make some beats?
I need that.
Hey.
Like, that's funny. But yeah, man, like I was saying, though.
Go ahead.
I almost forgot my point, but yeah, like I was saying, that, you know, back when you guys was growing up, and I don't know how many times we didn't spoke about this, but I'm gonna speak about it again. Back when you guys was growing up, you know, you guys have to physically go out and make things happen, right? And that, you know, boosted your masculinity or whatever at a young age. But now, since things are super easy, we don't need to go out to, you know, to work out. We don't need to go out to go to school. You don't have to go out to get a job or none of that. You can just work from home. So I think a lot of our bad habits are enabled, or you know what I mean? So yeah, that's really all I got to say about that. So,
I mean, I grew up in the video game generation. I'm like one of the oldest millennials, like I was saying, but it's still tough though. Like, I think I'll say, okay, my dad used to tell this story to me all the time. I think it's really important. It kind of go along with what we were saying. If I got time to say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so like he grew up as he wasn't.
I'm ending in like another 30 minutes.
Okay, it's gonna be real quick. So he grew up in Alabama where they was sharecropping. You know, like it wasn't no jobs for black people. It was during segregation when my dad grew up. So when he joined the army at 17 and then went to Vietnam, then he went to Germany, right? So then he said that they wouldn't even really. He was in the chemical corps too. So he said that it wasn't a lot of places for him to get promoted. They wouldn't promote black chemicals soldiers, NCOs. Or no, he wasn't even an NCO, but you know, chemical soldiers at the time, like that. So he had to work in the mess hall, which his ego, it hurt his ego. You know what I mean? To work in the mess hall. But he said he had to do that for like a year or two. And once he did that, he was able to get promoted to first sergeant. Then once he got the first sergeant, he went to a whole nother war. You know what I'm saying? When they had the Desert Storm and Desert Shield and all that. And that's what got him promoted even higher. You know what I mean? So when that's kind of my point in saying, like, it don't matter what you're doing, you got to stay down and work hard at it, and you can come up. It seems like it's dark, but you'll eventually get to the light. And there's a lot of people saying like good guys finish last and all this bullshit, when I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? Like I try to inspire guys. Like that's my point in even talking on YouTube, is to be an inspiration to people that think they can't do this and they gotta have a certain thing and they ego in the way, man. And you just gotta get over that shit, man. Salute. Thank you for letting me tell y'all that story.
So what were you asking me before I had the door knock? What were you asking me?
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you. Well, it was a 2-part question. I'm gonna just reduce it to one. So I was gonna ask you if your child was in that situation that the HIV dude was in, right? Even though I know it wouldn't really happen, but if he was in that situation, how would you maneuver him and how would you tell him to get out of that? You know. Like what steps would you what steps would you tell him to take, in order for him to get himself out of that rut? Yeah, go ahead.
I would give him similar motivation, just like I gave my sons without the issue, but they didn't join the military like I did. Find a trade that you love to do and do it. Like one of my sons right now tried underwater welding, went through that. He did culinary school, iron work. Here's the thing. I'm also a prepper. I know in the future when something goes awry, bombs go off and electronics don't work anymore, you need skills in order to be accepted in the community. Okay. He has multiple skills that will contribute to any community that he chooses in the future to build into. He would be an asset, even without that college degree. You get what I'm saying? So I usually tell them to find something they love to do and go do it, because that love of what they do will shine through and they'll be successful at it. One of my sons, my older son, he has a college degree. He's never used it for what he did, but he specializes in sound and lighting. He's been doing it in the church since he was a kid, to where he was able to learn TV production all the way up to broadcast quality, lighting, the old lighting systems. And now the technology has changed. He knows how to integrate the old equipment with the new equipment. He's worked at WWF, WWE. He's done the NFL Super Bowl. When they did the NFL draft in Kansas City, he was the primary guy that orchestrated all that. He was at the Super Bowl this year, set up all the lighting for the Super Bowl, had crews setting up systems and lighting for the whole football game, all the little side events. He does all that in the background. You would never know. Ranked 7th in the country at 38 years old of learning how to integrate all those different products together, where a computer can talk to it all and orchestrate it. So when you love to do something, you'll excel at it, and you'll do well. You'll make the money you want to make, as much as you want or as little. And that's why I tell them there's also a quality of life balance too. How much money do you want to make? Because I know plenty of wealthy people, and I used to ask them, how much is enough? What's your number? Someone would say 30 million. Someone would say 40 million. Where is that number at that you could say, fuck you, and I'm done? When are you going to turn that down and actually start having a quality of life besides for having money? There's different answers for everybody. Has a different motivation. I'll put that to everybody in the panel and anybody that plays this on replay. What's your number? What's your motivation? And when are you going to get to a point where you're at the level you want to be at? Now you want to kind of put it in cruise control. I'm at that level where I'm putting it in cruise control. I'm looking at income streams at this point. You get what I'm saying? I want to have at least 7 income streams, even in semi-retirement. And I'm always looking for an angle. Even when I go to the Philippines, I'm looking at products they produce, things I can import, export, things that can contribute to the community in order to make another income stream. Because even after I pass on, I need to pass that on to who? My legacies. Whoever that might be, my kids that are already here, or the kids that could come in the future, because I won't even turn that off.
True.
Ronin, would you ever abandon your kids? Go ahead, man.
Never done it. Never done it. Never
I
will.
was going to agree with him.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with me. It's, I want to start a company in Brazil dealing with cybersecurity because that's my profession. And, I'm not looking to be rich. I'm looking to be pretty well off. Right now I'm kind of still grinding it, but I want to, still get to that particular level where, again, just like what Ronin said, put it in cruise control and have some streams of income that if I pass it on to my legacy, and they're taken care of. A house paid for. They don't have to worry about. Everything just paid for and taken care of. So shoot in there and just do what you got to do. But I'm not looking to take over the world or anything like that. I'm just looking for my share.
Me personally, I don't need a specific number. I'm kind of worked out as far as manual labor go. So I'm just trying to really my goal, my 5-year goal, I think last year was to have 5 properties in 5 years. So I'm already kind of on path to that. So that's good, because that's my retirement plan. One of them is to have those income.
And you're doing exceptionally well with that, man. I give you your props every time we talk.
Man, thank you so much, man. Thank
this
you.
guy in the background, he's definitely setting up his resources.
So I said, nobody needs to be rich. I don't need to be rich.
And that's the thing, another thing that's probably the problem is you got a lot of the youth that don't want to listen to the old timers because they don't know anything because of this generation. But we were the one.
You didn't like that word, old timers?
Yeah.
This man said old time. That was funny.
I'm sorry, dude.
That was funny.
Sometimes I'm
getting there, but I don't want to.
I ain't claiming the title though. You can say it. I just ain't claiming it.
But they don't want to listen. They feel like, well, this is our generation. We can do whatever we want, but they don't realize that generation was built off our backs, of our blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
This whole technology thing, we were the one who created this stuff for you guys could enjoy.
Literally, I used to work on 8088s in the Marine Corps. I was repairing circuit level repairs on circuit boards to the transistor for computers before they started switching out boards and components were cheaper. So I literally watched computers come into the system and advance as far as they've come.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I think that's part of the problem. Why, just like in this video, he's just kind of a hard head. He's just trying to be evasive. He doesn't want to look at the fact that, someone older like Kevin Samuels is telling him, yo, dude, you got issues, man. There's no excuse, bro. Get off your butt. Start working.
Okay, so something I wanted to key in on from the video before the Kevin Samuels one, where the girls were talking about dating the guys that live home with their parents, right? Yeah. I think that, okay, so in the comments I was saying, like, I think that we put too much pressure on our young men to be accomplished by 25, where a lot of times, man, people not going to be accomplished by 25. So in my case, like, I know it put more pressure on me and a lot of other people to try to do things outside of your real capabilities in a legal way or whatever way. And you look for different ways to make things happen faster, when it takes what Kevin Samuels was saying. It takes that hard work. It takes going to get that job you don't want to get sometimes to get there. Even college graduates, like, I've been hiring college graduates for the past 10 years and I got a GED. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not all about that sometimes. It's about different things. So you got to just do what you got to do, man. A lot of people get stuck in the rut because of that. And then they go to jail or they have other problems. And that's why I say you got to dig yourself out the problems after that. And it just makes things harder and harder. I think a lot of women get into that with the kid thing, like being a single mom, and then they get another baby daddy and then another one. And then you just dig yourself deeper and deeper into a hole where nobody can really help you after a certain point.
Ronin, did you send me some?
Yeah, pull that link up. That's the link of the story that you're trying to tell about the generations getting weaker from the strong generation. So if you pull that link up, that's that gentleman giving that speech.
Okay.
And then you might want to check to see if anybody's in the back since I opened up the panel.
Ain't nobody in the back yet.
All right. Yeah, if you click on that TikTok, that's the guy telling the story.
My grandfather walked to work every day.
Blow that up.
My father walked 5.
All right.
I'm driving a Cadillac. My son is in a Mercedes. He said my grandson will be in a Ferrari. He said my great-grandson will be walking again. So I asked him, I said, well, why is that? And he said to me, tough times create strong men.
Yep.
Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. weak men create tough times.
I was almost right.
He said to me, many will not understand, but you have to raise borders.
If you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret. And that bill from regret is generational. There's a lot of people listening to this that bill has been passed on from generation to generation, and you are holding that bill right now.
Generational curses.
And some one of your generations has to pay that bill off.
I paid mine.
Cycle and find your only motives.
That was deep, man.
But that's exactly what we're talking about.
I believe
today.
that God actually exists.
But they say iron sharpens iron too.
I think my dad, you know, I think he have now at least, right? Because, you know, I got a brother, my youngest sibling actually make more money than everybody. You know, so, and he's married and he got like 2 kids on the way. So he's in a very good position. He's the youngest son. You know, I got another brother that drive trucks. Like my dad, he did his part as far as making sure everybody was well for setting us up for success. Now, whether we wanted to go and chase after that success was on us. And most of us did our due diligence and, you know, did our job. Now, honestly, with the first 3 of us, with my younger brother and my oldest sister, you know, we was sort of like prototypes, I should say, if that's the right word to use. But once my dad reached the age of like 45, he sort of knew well he got it right, I should say, you know, and he knew what steps to take in order. Well, he learned from his mistakes. So yeah, now I'm just happy that, you know, I'm happy that we're all having this conversation and, you know, we having this dialogue with them. I ain't really got too much to say on that. I'm done. I'm done speaking. I'm done speaking. I don't really have too much to say, man. Like, I think you guys have. Go ahead.
Let me say this. It's one of the things I swore, you know, I was raised, you know, the strap, the whoopings, the cutting boards, the switches off the tree, whatever was in reach, arm's reach, you got hit over the head with it type of shit. And as I was growing up, I said, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to do that to my kids, but I'm going to teach them consequences based on their actions. So when they were first born, these are all young boys. Well, I only have 4 sons. Well, not only, but I have 4 sons. So what I started doing with them at the age very young, I would ask them to do something. And I would tell them, I would reinforce the request with, there's an end result. If you don't do it, there's going to be a consequence. And that consequence is you're going to get a punishment or you're going to get spanked. I'll decide when we get to that point. So when they were younger, I would give them 4 times to get something done. If I say, hey, pick up the room, I would walk away. I wouldn't stand over them, tell them how to do it. I'd let them kind of figure that out on their own. As long as they picked up the room, I didn't care. So I would come back after a few minutes. If it was done, great. If it wasn't, that's 1. So they would look and acknowledge that was 1. And I would have them reinforce it by saying, what's going to happen when I get to 4 and it's not done? Or we're going to get punished or we're going to get spanked. As long as you know. And I walk away. Okay. I did this over years. And obviously, as they got older, the numbers went from 4 to 1. So I only asked them 1 time to get something done by the time they got to a certain age. If it didn't get done, they knew there was a fucking consequence. You're either getting punished or you're getting spanked. Okay. Guess what? It worked. I only had to spank 1 kid 1 time. And it happens to be my youngest son. You know, the other ones caught on real quick, never had to do anything. None of my kids have gone to jail. They understand consequences based on their actions. And they're all very good, productive men in society. So corporal punishment is a tool, but it doesn't always have to be used. I just want to tell that story. Go ahead.
I definitely had my first share of corporal punishment. That's
mm-hmm. But nowadays you do that. Now you got child
I'm saying
involved, all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's probably one of the things that happened is they took away that punishment away from the parents.
They never took away from me. I was still swinging, bro.
My parents didn't hear about that.
Shit, my mom dared us. Matter of fact, my brother was dumb enough to call the cops one day. My mom put her finger, and she's only 5'2". Cop came in the door. She was all up in his chest, poking her fucking finger in his chest where he was rubbing his chest, and he had a fucking vest on. He's like, he looked at my brother and said, "You better listen to your mom." Turned around and walked out.
Damn.
Ronin, I want to ask you a question, bro. Mm-hmm. What is it? Anything different that you would have done with your kids?
That's a good question.
Like I said, they're all very good kids. The only thing I would say is I wish I could have had a college fund set up for them to access. But I'm a veteran, so they had access to veterans benefits when it came to their college. And in California, it was highly beneficial because in California, they have the Cal Vet program where your kids can go to school for basically the price of books. You don't pay tuition. As long as it's a college that's state funded, all the universities are, all they had to do was pay for their books and sign up for their classes. That's why I said when they said they quit and they could not go to college and they did not have the mindset to get their degree, then go find a fucking trade, because there's no reason why you couldn't have finished college. It's basically paid for.
All right, Ron, this is another question I want to ask you. This is more so a personal question, you know what I mean? Not really related to the topic, but could you tell me something that I could look forward to being a parent? Just one thing. It got to be.
Could you see the smile on my face? Just when you said that. There's nothing like it in the world, bro. There's nothing like seeing something that came from you, has personality like you, has some of the genetic traits of you, or a lot of it. It just depends on, how strong the woman's genetics are. But you took that person and you enforced your morals, your ethics, things that you learned, and you raised that child from a baby to being a man. And then I have grandchildren, so I'm seeing my legacy in my face before I'm even gone. And to see how productive they are in society, to see that they're flourishing, they're being successful in the things they're doing, and that all came from me. Man,
I got a question for True Prodigy.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
So have you seen these women that come onto these panels that have all this vitriol for black people and basically black men? But if you pay attention, it's only one type of woman that does this, and it's always somebody that's like past the wall, like 48 plus, no kids, no future, really, no goals. Like, do you have as a younger person, what do you think?
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not. It's just really one woman that I see, and I think y'all know who I'm talking about. It's just that one woman I see, but I don't really know any women in particular that come to the space, spewing BS, honestly, like, I don't think women should enter into a male space because, well, they can, but I mean, like, this is our space and they come giving their opinions and their ideas and stuff like that. Like, I don't know.
I'm saying, I think it's not just one of them. It's multiple. But why do you think that they feel the need to do that though? as a younger person.
I think they do it because they just want to be around men. You know, they want that attention from men first and foremost. You know, women love attention from the opposite sex. So I think it's that. And, you know, a lot of cases, women just like to argue. You know, they just, hold up, private chat right quick.
I like that. That's dope.
That's what Blueprint. Yeah, I think that's really it. I can't think of another reason why, honestly. Oh yeah, Passport Blueprint said he had to drop off. He had like a phone call or something alluding to that. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's that one chick. I'm not gonna mention her name because I know y'all don't mess with her no more. Like,
well, that, I mean, she was on our panel last night. If you watched our live last night,
she was on there last night.
We had Maya. We had that girl named Clever Girl, but she was being totally off the rocker, bro. She was definitely
there's multiple women.
And then there's Zed, and Zed is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's the one I know. Yeah, that's the one I know.
Yeah, she's a serious feminist and believe that black women should not.
With it.
Yeah. So yeah, there's several women in the space that.
Or do you think they all come from her channel?
No, they've gone to her channel. I'm sure they know about her. Because she takes the time to go into our channels from, you know, Razor Rays, everybody's channel. Everybody knows her, BMT, you know, so it's not like she doesn't make her rounds to see if she can pick up. But the whole thing is, man, you got brothers that will follow her. You got other brothers that are in our spaces that will go over there and listen to that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you have to wonder, why are you sitting there listening to that type of...
That's the plantation bro, though. That's the plantation bro.
I wouldn't call them plantation bros because I know a lot of them, and some of them are good dudes. I just don't understand what the fascination is. You get what I'm saying? I just don't get what the fascination is to be in the room like
Ronin,
that.
But Ronin, the only reason I'm calling them plantation
I'm going to say male thirst is a real thing, man.
Oh, you think they trying to...
No, I don't know. A couple of them I think
male thirst is a real thing, man.
You think they trying to, like, get some women off of saying agreeing with them? What's it called?
I honestly couldn't. I don't know what the conversation was, so I couldn't tell y'all. But I do know male thirst is a real thing, man. So I mean, they might be married or whatever. I don't know, but that's like the first thing that popped up in my head. Like if they're coming on a panel, you know, being all argumentative and bitchy or whatever, then
some men
they just want to argue. They don't want to have a conversation.
Well, a lot of these guys are male feminists, where they just believe all black women should be protected at all times. Yes, they believe all black women can do no wrong, and they should be protected at all times. Okay. No matter what comes out their mouths, it's okay for them to say it. They don't need, as men, to correct their viewpoints, as distorted as they can be. But it's just for them to allow them to have a space. They can do whatever and say whatever. And as black men, we're just supposed to protect them and not correct them. And that's the problem.
Okay. Ronin and Styles King. Okay. Do you guys remember the story where that woman got the brick? It was some black.
Yeah, the Somali chick. She lied.
Crazy. Yeah. If these dudes would follow a chick like that, bro, then... I don't know. They got some mental disorders going on or whatever. Like this, I don't know if y'all know the story, but that chick, she was literally a super bitchy and disrespectful and smacking dudes all in their face.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And dude just got fed up and, you know, I don't know if he threw the brick at her face or he picked it up and smacked her in the face with it. But bro, sometimes, man, like people, like they need to be punished, you know. So yeah, like me personally, like I think people being, it's just like what you were saying with your kids, Ronin, earlier, right? Where, you know, if they ain't really willing to fall in line or if they don't abide by or adhere to the rules and guidelines that you set, then it's a punishment, right?
Yeah.
You feel me? And as a result of that, they was able to get, I mean, they're pretty successful now as a result of that, right? So a lot of the time, man, like people need to go through that hardship and they need to experience that level of treatment in order for them to learn from their mistakes. But I mean, it's like society nowadays, people being coddled, and especially women, like men being coddled, like women, like it's on a whole different level with women. It's to a point where I like the screenshot I showed you where women don't even have to work a job. Really, they could just, post images on the internet or content on the internet and make $10,000-$20,000 a month from that.
Yeah.
Like it's at a whole different level with women. Like, and you go overseas, women are more humble, they're more down to earth, they're more genuine and things of that nature. Versus in the States, everybody is entitled, feminism, know what I mean, overweight, all that different type of shit. So
you're right.
Yeah, I definitely disagree with the point where women can do no wrong and all that, man. That's complete BS. So
I mean,
I don't know if they
got
some type of mental disorder going on. I don't know.
That goes along with that happy wife, happy life bullshit. No, it doesn't work that way. A relationship and a marriage is reciprocal. It ain't all about your happiness and fuck the man. You get what I'm saying? He needs to be as happy as you are.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's not reciprocating in that relationship, happy wife, happy life does not work. Okay. And that's why men are being
let me ask you a question right quick.
after they put in all that effort. Go ahead.
Ronin. Okay, so you said you was married twice, right?
Twice. And probably get ready to get married again in the next year.
Twice. Okay. So would you kneel down to your wife and give her a wedding ring? Like, would you do that? Would you kneel down?
I'm a traditionalist in that way, out of respect. Yeah, out of respect and saying I honor my wife because she's a good choice to me. Yeah, I would do that. She would do it for me.
You got a lot of guys
this way. Let me put it this way. A woman that I would be with that cared about me, she would wash my feet. How many women do biblical
There's
shit
no
like
wrong
that?
with that.
I know that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's not a lot of women that will humble themselves to even do that to their man right now. And they're already married.
That's the problem. You got dudes being in disrespect in sexless marriages, being disrespecting their marriages, and they think the wife is in charge, like you said, happy wife, happy life, and they're willing to put up with BS because they don't want to lose half their crap or whatever.
Right.
But man, like me personally, like I couldn't really see myself submitting to or kneeling to a woman that's giving me that type of disrespect way at the beginning of the relationship. You know what I mean?
That's why you would never give her a ring.
And you know what?
Until you find a woman that you feel like you can do that for, you're never going to give up a ring.
Yep. And I blame the man for that in some cases, because if you're willing to put up with that type of disrespect just because she's beautiful, or just because I guess being in a relationship with her come with some perks or benefits or whatever, if you're willing to tolerate that, then I mean, it was to like you said, Ron. Remember, I was in a situation where I could have been in, a relationship with the house husband situation, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to give up any power to that chick. Like, I don't care. Like, I'd rather be homeless on the street before I move in with a chick or before I give up any power to a woman.
Right.
That's just me. Right. I'm dead serious. So, yeah, man. Like, a lot of the guys, like, I know dudes, like, it was just my mama's boyfriend, right? Oh, this dude was living with her rent free, wasn't paying no bills or nothing, right? And I don't think he had to do was smash or whatever, and be submissive towards her, which means he had to, if I tell you to take the trash out, if I tell you to clean up, if I tell whatever I tell you to do, you better do it. And if you ain't gonna do it, you can get out. Dude dealt with that for like 6 months straight before he got ghost.
Hell yeah.
No. What? No, hold on, wait. He dealt. I don't want to say this because this is gonna sound bad, but he dealt with that for a while. I'm putting my family business, but he dealt with that for a while until he put his hands on my mom, and I had to step in.
Okay.
You feel me? Or my mom, my mom wanted me to step in, and at that time to protect. So it's like, dude, like, why would you even put yourself in that situation for that length of time, bro?
It's very common.
Like you demasculating yourself and all that, and all
right.
that.
And then you got frustrated after the fact. Right. And then you got frustrated and wanted to lash out, but you put yourself in that situation as a man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guilty of that in my 20s, in my early 20s. I'm guilty of that. But once I realized that I ain't want to do that, because when we young, sometimes we like, oh, we a pimp and we doing this and we doing that. But, like, once you grow up, man, like I was saying, in my early 20s, I was naive enough to think that if a girl giving me money, I had a lot of girls give me money and do all kind of stuff. But once you actually start getting on your own feet, I had girls trying to tell me like, "I'll take care of you." No, because you don't want to be in that position.
Let me put it this way. Just like with us, when we're protective providers, we have stipulations and we have things that we expect. Don't think a woman, if she's willing to give you money,
right,
don't have higher expectations than you ever would put on a woman.
That's true. True.
There are strings and all kind of shit that are subliminal coming with that fucking money. And then don't let it be a loan and you not pay it back on fucking time. And even if it's a loan and you paid it back on time, look at Gayle King. Gayle King talked about this dude so bad. She said she never went back out with him. He was dating her for 6 months. Just asked her for a little penny ass loan of something that was probably pocket change to her. She gave it to him and had a different opinion from him. Now, what he promised her was he'd give it back to her by the end of the week. He just needed it right then. So she gave it to him. He gave it right back on time. But she held out against him. Why?
They will if they can. If you put them in a position.
Exactly.
But if you getting your own money,
but would a guy do that? As a matter of fact, we have extended money to our women and never expected it back.
Never expected it back.
No, you don't care, like, because you know what your role is, man.
And if you did, she'd look at you sideways. If you did, she'd look at you sideways like, you broke ass nigga. Why are you asking for it back? I'm sorry, you broke ass ninja. Why are you asking for it back? You that broke? You can't just give me the money. That's what they're gonna say a loan, but they really mean give me. Can you loan me?
Yeah, they gonna gaslight you for sure, man.
You're not getting that money back. So understand, anybody listening, you're not getting that money back. So don't give it up if you're expecting it back. And that's an principle in any loan. Don't loan money you cannot afford to lose. Period. Could be your best friend, because they will cut your ass off and go ghost on you, even your best friend, depending on the type of money that they might owe you. You lose friends over fucking loaning money.
I think True Prodigy
I've definitely lost friends. Go ahead, man.
I think you said something important though, where now I'm not talking about your family, but just in general in our community, a lot of times, you know, women start making money and they got their own house already and they got families already. And a lot of guys are still out there struggling to get to where they want to be. Mm-hmm. So I think, like, for me in my instance, like when I was out there struggling, hustling, you know, doing my thing in the streets, it was easy to have women around and all the time. But once I started getting properties and paying off cars and doing really, really good for myself, it makes it really hard for a lot of women to stick around with you because your standards are going to start going up on what you accept from a woman.
Exactly.
And that's another problem we got in the community. That's what Kevin Samuels was important, because he was saying, hey, it's a lot of guys out here that got their shit together, but the women only dealing with men that don't have their stuff together. And when they do find a man that got their stuff together, they don't know how to treat him. And that's a problem that still to this day, here, I have that problem a lot of times in Atlanta.
I've experienced it as well. No, even in my marriages, each one of my
Do you guys believe
after they left, they both wanted to come back. Both of them. My first wife and my second.
Man. Do you guys believe all behavior is learned?
In a way, yeah.
Some of it's learned.
Man, Ronin really thinking about that.
No, because it's hard to say, because like I said, I've had two different experiences. My first wife, she came from a single mother's home, but she stayed with her mother until she was married. She was still chaste and kept. You know, my second marriage, she came from, again, a traditional family. The mom and dad were married for over 40 plus years. So she saw it demonstrated a long-term marriage with multiple kids. You know, and so those influences didn't help her overall lifestyle once she got married and got out of the house. You get what I'm saying? And moved into my house.
Wow.
So even with those influences that she saw demonstrated in her face, people still rebel against what they see until they experience it themselves. Sometimes.
That's true.
Man,
That's tough.
deep, man.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you did your due diligence and still
Both
it
times.
backfired.
And like I said, even with my second wife, she was disabled for 5 years. I nursed her from a disability to where she had a stress stroke. She could not walk or talk. Multiple surgeries. Got her back to about 90%. And then through all that, she realized she had never lived on her own. And she wanted to experience that.
Instead of
and
being
I understand
grateful,
that life changes.
grateful.
Man,
yeah.
That's a weird. That's
and
weird.
I
That's
raised
a
her
weird
son
situation.
from 8 years old. Listen, I raised her son from 8 years old. He was in junior college by the time we had split up and filed for divorce. He sounded like me. He sounded like he was my kid. The mentality, the methodology. He even knew my spiel in insurance. He was pre-selling insurance to his dudes that he played football and basketball with in college and in high school. He knew my pitch better than I did. That's how much he sounded like me. I made his father fall in love with him because when I first met his mother, I fixed the relationship that she could not have with his own father. I filmed his Pop Warner games every year, sent him all the Pop Warner games on. This is back when you had to burn CDs. Okay. I used to send CDs home for him to watch his son play football for the whole season on Pop Warner. Then basketball as well. Would film all that, put him on CD, burn him, take the time to do that. So he would start falling in love with his son at 8. Did that all the way through high school. Started announcing for football games. Did the Booster Club thing for my stepson. Okay. So at 18, when he was graduating, I invited his father and his stepmother and his little sister out to California to watch his son graduate. Had a whole party for him. Allowed his father to speak first and how proud he was for his son. His father had no words. Couldn't say a word. And so I gave the address to the people at the party, and he sat there and wept. But again, guess what I did? Guess what I did? I raised some other man's legacy because when I got divorced, all the resources and access I gave that stepson, it went to his father.
Yeah.
It went to his father. So there is no loyalty and there is no honor in being a stepfather. So anybody listening to this on playback, I'm telling you, think 10 times before you marry a woman that has a child. There are no guarantees that that child is going to be loyal to you after you invested your time, your resources for somebody else's bloodline and their legacy.
What if she's like widowed? What if like the dad died in like a tragic accident or something like that? Or if he's like paralyzed, or if he's like brain dead or whatever, to where
it's still some other family's bloodline. He has uncles, he has aunts, he has family. That's still not your family.
Oh, okay.
He still has resources that he can go back to within that family that are going to X out what your investment in time and effort was as the stepfather.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ron, I got one more question I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to close it down. So I want to, okay, so would you, and this is a question like directly towards you, you know, because I'm trying to learn something by picking your brain. So what is one thing you would have done different in your life, you know? Well, okay, what if you like what is one thing you would have told your younger self? Like if you can go back into time and tell your younger self, don't do this or don't do that. Aside from, you know, the story you gave about, you know, being a stepfather, aside
to
from
set
that,
myself up
what
better,
is one thing you would have done different?
I already got it, and I already know what the answer is always going to be. To set myself up better, when I was accepted into college my senior year in high school to a prestigious college, which they only accept 150 students a year because it's a dedicated program in order to get your master's in architecture. I should have applied for my college grant and my college loan money to where that was secured, to where I didn't have to drop out of college and go in the Marine Corps. That would have set me up for life had I done that. You know how much architects get paid?
I don't.
15 to 20% of the total cost of whatever building you design. So if you're looking at a huge office building that costs billions of dollars, that architect's getting paid for one design. And then if you build for one design, you're getting paid that. For each design, you get that type of commission off of your design. Now, say you did a whole development and people liked the 4 development houses that you liked, and they multiply that over multiple different developments. You're getting paid off of each one of those. Off of 4 designs, you're getting paid multiple times over and over and over again.
Dang, that's crazy. I ain't know. I knew architects was making money, but I didn't know that was in the millions.
Oh, they make stupid money off of one design. You could set your whole life up.
Dang. One design, you could be a millionaire. That's wild.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, if that was the case, and I could go back and tell my younger self, matter of fact, we had a live over that. If I can go back and tell my younger self, that would have been the one thing. And I said then, I'm telling you guys today, was to make sure I secured my college loans, because I already have my acceptance letter in senior high. Before I started my 12th grade year, I was accepted as a junior in high school. They knew who was coming into that entry program a year and a half before you actually went, because it only took 150 students a year into that program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I appreciate you giving that little bit of wisdom. You know what I mean? Because I be asking myself that every day, and it's good to ask somebody old enough to be my dad that question, you know, so I can get some insight on that. But with that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I didn't even plan on being on this long. I didn't even plan on having a panel.
But you know what? It's a great topic. It's a topic that needs to be brought up multiple times in multiple sessions by multiple different YouTubers. I'm glad you brought it up. It's a good topic that needs to be continued and replicated, because there's a lot of guys out there, like we talked about earlier, that don't have any guidance, don't have any mentorship, don't know which way to turn, and are like that kid that Kevin Samuels was dealing with.
Yeah, man. I mean, maybe you guys could have a topic about this, you know, on I think it's you, Ronin. No, not Ronin. It's you,
Fearless,
Black Man Travels.
Black Man Travels.
Y'all do a show. Yeah. You guys got a much bigger audience than I do. So, I mean, you guys could definitely hone in on this topic, you know, since you guys have a young, I'm pretty sure you guys got a younger audience too. So, yeah, man, this is definitely a conversation that could definitely be had. And I just said that, you know, I talk about my story and how I, you know, came up. So, you know, and it's related towards, you know, me living with my mom and getting out of this situation. So, yeah, I would like.
But the great thing is, I know you have a great the great thing is, I know you have a good relationship with your dad. You guys have conversations, which is always good. You know, that's the best thing I could say to anybody is try to.
I wouldn't say a great relationship, but we have.
But you're trying, you know, but you're trying, and that's what I was trying to say. Is I encourage everybody to try to reconnect with their fathers, because some of the stories your parent or your mother might have told you might not necessarily be true on why he wasn't around. Let me just say that.
Yep.
They like to spin tales, and you grew up with those tales until you actually sit down with that man and actually have a conversation. I can tell you maybe 75% might be true, but there's 25% there's going to be a spun tale on why that man isn't around. And you
might flip that 75%.
Yeah. And it could, depending on the person, it actually could be. She spun 75% of the story and 25% of it was true. You know, but at the end of the day, as a man, you should always go to your father and sit down and have a conversation with him and actually feel out what the real truth is on why he wasn't around and whether he really wanted to be around or he didn't.
Yeah, man. That's I think that's what your stepson did, I believe.
Yeah, well, I helped him with that from the time he was 8, and I built a relationship with his father, to where by the time he was in high school, he was always having conversations with his dad back east.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a problem with that. I wouldn't want my sons to have any other kind of influence on them, even though they weren't in my house.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Ron, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I heard, man. I really
all right, brother.
appreciate
That was a good conversation. Yeah,
up,
man.
Sharing wisdom with me, man.
Anytime.
Yeah, man.
You know that.
Yeah, with that
Anytime.
being said, peace. I holler at y'all, man. Yeah. Hopefully, I can think of another topic. I'm sort of running out of topics, but yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna talk about for next week. But yeah, I holler at y'all, man.